Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I did that, the cliche thing, okay. So I'm here to testify about Mordecai, and I had mentioned in another video that I would give you guys the testimony about how Mordecai became family and joined our home. So, this is Latte the dog, but Mordecai is the cat that I didn't realize we were getting. No, I'll explain. So, it wasn't too long before the Mordecai, it was a dream. God gave me a dream, but it was before that I had requested. See, when you ask God for things, be prepared. He says ask and you will receive. So if you're asking things according to his will, he's faithful. So I had asked for dreams and visions, or more dreams and visions from God. And he was faithful. And so one night I'm having a dream, and in the dream I'm in bed, and my husband's in bed, and he's asleep, and God's there, and I can't see him, like his face or anything, but I see like a form, and I see his presence. I know he's there, and we're obviously chatting it up while Nathan sleeps. And we were talking about a cat, and I said to God, yeah, but he'll probably be a jerk, thinking the cat would be a jerk if I got a cat. And what I can only describe as like the kindest, most amazing, kind voice. Think of like warm sunshine on like when you're just having a bad day and you just feel like amazing. He said, no, he won't. And he reassured me that the cat would not be a jerk. So I was like, okay. And in the same dream, he said to name the cat Mordecai and call him Morty for short. And so I was like, okay, that was an interesting dream. So I get up in the morning, I kneel and do my morning prayers. And I was like, Lord, I know that was a great dream and all, and I loved it. I really loved it, but you don't really want me to get a cat. Like that was just a nice dream, right? Well, I open up my Devo time, and the devotional that day was about Mordecai and Esther from the book of Esther in the Bible. And I said, oh, I think God really wants me to get a cat named Mordecai. Like, it was a confirmation, very specific, very like, yes. So I was like, okay. So I remembered that I had seen, an advertisement for Petco was having like cat adoption day. It's not a coincidence. I had just seen that on like social media, and I was like, that's today. So okay, I'll just go. And so as I went with Frankie, I told him what was going on. I was vigorously texting my husband, letting him know what was going on and asking him to pray about it. And he was like, all right, I'm praying about it. He was at like a men's event, like a Christian men's event. Yeah, I think it was the day he went with Dr. Perkins to this event. And he's like, I'm praying. And then my son's like, yeah, let's go. And, I prayed about it either as I approached the Petco or when I got to the parking lot, but it was all in prayer. When I got into the Petco, Pastor Troy, I'm not even kidding, Pastor Troy Hart and his granddaughter Lily were there, and I knew it was another confirmation. I'm like, God is all over this. This is not a coincidence. God is literally telling me to get a cat and name him Mordecai. So I walked up to Pastor Troy, and he's my witness because I told him all about it. I said, look, this is what happened. I had a dream, da da da, and he was like, whoa, that's prophetic. So he's like, well, just go see which cat speaks to you, if you will, so to speak. And so we had already met this really nice family, and they had already shown us like some of their cats, and one of them had already like placed his paw on my son. And so Frankie was like, that's the one, Mom, I just know it, like he put his paw on me, that's the one. And I was like, really, you sure? Because I knew it had to be a boy cat, and I knew obviously the name of Mordecai, call him Morty for short, but I was like, I don't know, in my head I was thinking that it was supposed to be like what is that called? Those cats with the fluffy Siamese, right? So for some reason, I'm thinking it was going to be one of those. But anyway, I go back to that family. I look at the cat again, because there was no other cats that was speaking to us. There was no other cats that was like calling to us, so to speak. Go back to this one, and his name at the time was Carlos Santana. And I speak to them again. They were so nice. I tell them kind of what's going on. I'm like, you guys wouldn't believe this, but I had a dream, this and that. And they're like, oh, we're Christian, and we go to ACF Church in Eagle River, and maybe you were meant to meet us today. And I was like, man, this is so cool. And she was telling me how she's also a homeschool mom and this and that. I'm like, this is the cat then. This is the cat. So we get the cat, and now we have to walk around Petco and get supplies. I don't have any cat supplies. I'm a dog mom, okay? So we get, we're getting the feeding bowl. I'm sorry, no, not the feeding bowl. We're getting the cat food, the cat litter, the blah, blah, blah. And I'm not even kidding. We needed a carrier because this kitten, we're thinking, like, how are we going to bring it home? Like, my son's, like, dramatically holding this cat, trying not to get scratched to death or drop it or whatever. And we go to the carrier section, and this guy that works there, super nice guy named James, thank you, James, he helped us in there, and we were looking, they were pricey. And we saw one that we liked, and I was like, oh, look at this one. But then I realized, like, oh, but this one's got, like, I think it had, like, pet hair already in it or something, and it looked like it was used. Like, it was nice, but it didn't look brand new. I said, James, look at this. And anyway, I didn't pay attention to the guy's name at the time, but I'm just saying, like, I told the guy, like, look. So he was like, oh, yeah, whatever. Anyway, we walked away from the carriers and kept shopping. Not even kidding. Look at God, okay? Another confirmation. A little while later, James, the store employee, comes up to us with the carrier. And he was like, do you guys want it? Like, my manager, I spoke to my manager. The manager said I could just give it away, throw it away, whatever I want to do with it. You guys want it? I was like, yes, we want it. That was like a miracle. That thing was probably like an $89 carrier. I'm not even kidding.